would like to know in the comments what you guys think of this lipstick. I don't like myself in dark coloured lipsticks, or darker than very neutral. Anyway, I know this isn't particularly bright. I think it ages me. I really do. I usually put this one as a Colourpop matte one. I usually put this on and cover it up with a different one. My phone rang just as I put this one on, answered the phone, and then forgot to put the other one on, then just looked at myself in the mirror. I can't decide. I kind of like it a bit more than I usually do, but I do think it ages me. Tell me what you think. This is it covered up. I know I'm in different light. Let me move over there a bit. This is it covered up without the aid of a mirror, with a different one to make it more neutral, which I actually prefer. Right, I need to go to the parcel shop now. Little bit of a reg update for you. Here he is sitting on his advent calendar today. Are you sitting on it? Are you? Is it comfortable? Is it a nice cushion? I don't normally put the heating on during the day. Sorry, should we start with hello before I just barrage into talking at you? Hello, welcome to Vlogmas Day 15. Today I am going to talk about... How odd my hair's looking? No, not that. Talk about my favourite TV and films of 2018. But a couple of other things first. Don't normally put the heating on during the day, but today I was so cold by lunchtime. My fingers were literally freezing as I was typing. Not literally freezing, but felt very cold. So I put the heating on, and it's so lovely and cosy and warm now. It's about 3:30 as I film this, and just going to get dark soon, and I've got the Christmas tree lights on. It's feeling quite festive and cosy and lovely, and I've just lit my pumpkin pecan waffles candle, which is gorgeous. So this is a Bath & Body Works candle, and it's so lovely. I had it lit for a couple of hours yesterday afternoon, and I was out this morning, and when I came back into the house after being out, I could smell it still from a couple of hours yesterday in the afternoon. So yeah, lovely candle. Anyway, couple of things before I get into the TV. What's in the advent calendar today? Today we got in the Look Fantastic was a lipstick. It's a Lipstick Queen lipstick, which absolutely does not want to focus in any way, shape or form. And it's green. Can you see that? Matches my top quite nicely. It's one of these colour changing lipsticks. You put it on and it adjusts to your colour. I'm not going to put it on now. I'll try it on the back of my hand. How would that be? That's quite unexciting, isn't it? Perhaps it will develop a little more. We'll have a look at it again in a bit. In the other advent calendar was another Percy and Reed product. You remember earlier in the month I had the Wonder Balm, which I quite like. I'm still using it and I'm quite liking it. This is the Shine and Fragrance Mist. I like the packaging. Girl in the Rain with a red umbrella. I have just put some of this on my hair. It smelled quite nice. I wouldn't say it made my hair particularly shiny. Just spray it again. Yeah, it smells quite pleasant. It's not particularly strong. It's like an oily spray. It's made my arm slightly more shiny than it made my hair. Yeah, I actually prefer that on my arm than my hair. Don't think you're meant to do that, are you? Yeah, anyway. I shall experiment with it a little bit more. Got a very runny nose today. Anyway. TV and films, best ones of 2018. I'm going to start with films. I set myself a challenge at the beginning of the year to watch 100 films this year. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of those, they're rolling all over the place. I'm not going to make it to 100, but I'm probably going to make it to around 75 or 80, which is good. That's fine, it was only a fun thing to just really get me to watch a few more films, which it's worked for. If you watch my monthly favourites videos throughout the year, you will have probably heard me talk about some of these. But what I decided to do was I rate all the films that I watch on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it is, and I also keep a list of the films I've watched in Google Keep. I do like a list. Love Google Keep, best app on my phone. Perhaps I should do videos about my video about my favourite phone apps. That's an idea. Remind me of that one if I don't make it, because I will have forgotten. I haven't got a pen here to write it down, or my phone. I don't know where my phone is. Anyway, I've put down here all the films that I gave 4.5 or 5 stars to this year, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go through them. I think I have talked about almost all of them in my monthly favourites, but that's fine, we'll talk about them again. First one was Another Mother's Son, which was a film set during World War II in the Channel Islands. Oh, that lipstick, by the way, has changed colour. Yeah, see? Obviously takes a while to do its thing. Sorry, back to the film. Another Mother's Son, World War II, Jersey. It's based on a true story of sort of resistance, and I love a World War II, anything novel form of film. I'm fascinated by World War II, and but this was a really well made film. Just about, I knew very little about the Channel Islands during World War II, but they were occupied, of course, by the Germans, and they were one of the last places to be freed when we won the war. Or unoccupied. Unoccupied? Freed? I don't know. Anyway, but it was a really good film based on a true story. A little bit sad, but amazing the bravery and courage of just ordinary everyday people, women especially, and well worth a watch if you like a good World War II drama. The next film that I really enjoyed was Light Between Oceans, The Light Between Oceans. This was based on a book by, I think it's M.L. Stedman, am I right in saying that? Which came out a few years ago and then was picked up by Richard and Judy's book club and had a sort of resurgence in popularity, and then it was made into a film. I've never read the book, but the film was absolutely beautiful. It was about a romance, really, about love and loss, and yeah, can't remember when it was set. I would think I'm wanting to say like the 50s or something, but I could be wrong about that. It could be before that. And it's a couple who live on an island. The man is the lighthouse keeper, and it's sort of a love story, and they're desperate to have a baby and they can't have a baby, and then this baby is washed up on the beach in a boat. They don't know where it's come from, they don't know who the baby is, and it's that they decide whether or not they're going to keep it and raise it as their own, and it's the story as it develops from there. And it's such a good story and so believable and lovely acting. Rachel Weisz is in it, who I really like, and can't remember who the male lead is, but really lovely film, worth a watch. Again, if it's going to be like a drinking game for me saying worth a watch in this video. The next film I wanted to talk about was Bridget. I will link everything I talk about in the description box below as far as I can, so if there's anything you want more info about or click through to, look down there. Spies with Tom Hanks. Loved this film, it was so good. It's Cold War. It's about again, it's based on a true story, I believe, and Tom Hanks plays a lawyer in America. I think he's I wanted to say divorce lawyer, but that might not be right. It might not be a divorce lawyer, it might be some other type of lawyer. But he's recruited by the CIA and has to go to Russia. I think Russia, am I thinking Germany or Russia? I can't, East Germany or Russia, can't remember anyway. It's a long time since I've watched a lot of these films. I don't remember the exact stories, so sorry if I'm sounding vague. But it was just such a well-made film. It was Steven Spielberg directed it, and it was exciting, felt very evocative of the time and the whole Cold War thing and the fear and the uncertainty and all that. Of course, excellent acting by Tom Hanks as ever. So if you haven't seen that one, that's a good one to watch. The Greatest Showman, I must mention, I watched that with Ashley. It's such a good musical. We really enjoyed it. Fab songs, lovely story, good acting, just a nice feel-good, enjoyable Sunday afternoon watch. Very, very good. And the music was absolutely fab. And the next one was a recommendation from one of my viewers, Lainey, and it was 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Is that not the most bizarre title for a film you have ever heard? And it was a really funny, quirky, sad, insightful film. It sort of centres around this small town, Ebbing, Missouri, and one of the lead characters is a woman whose daughter was murdered the previous year, and the crime hasn't been solved yet, and one of the other lead characters is the local sort of chief of the police force, and then other characters come in and out of it as well, and good cast, good acting, really different. It's very different. It's something, it's difficult to put it into a genre, if you know what I mean. It's a bit funny, a bit quirky, a bit thrillery, a bit of everything, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's very unusual, so thank you to Lainey for that recommendation. It really was great. Next film on my list, only 2 more to go, is Miss You Already, which I watched fairly recently. It's a British film, and it's about friendship between 2 women. It's a bit of a weepy, so if you're not in the mood for a bit of sadness and illness and that, but it's uplifting as well, and it charts this friendship between these 2 women from their childhood to one of their deaths, I think it's fair to say, without giving you any spoilers. And it's just a really lovely, nice, girly film. Probably not one you want to watch with your other half. Don't think it would be a film for men. And my final film of the year was Mamma Mia 2, which Ashley and I only watched recently as soon as it came out for rental on Amazon. We downloaded it, and just absolutely brilliant. Loved it. It almost even more than the first, if that's possible. Just feel good film. Love the ABBA music, love the actors. It was so nice to revisit them all again 10 years on, and yeah, I'll probably be watching that one again over Christmas because I just absolutely loved it. So those are my top 8 films of this year, and then I thought I'd talk about some of the stuff we've watched on television. Because hasn't the way we watch TV, well, it has in our house, watch TV has changed so dramatically. I don't watch anything on live TV ever anymore. You know, occasionally the news if Ashley has it on, but never watch live TV. I can't bear anything with adverts in it. I just feel like it's wasting so much of my time. Anyway, that's an aside. So yeah, almost virtually everything I watch, 90% of what I watch, probably 95% is streamed, and the rest of it is only watching it by mistake because Ashley's got it on. So I thought I'd talk about some of the shows that we've watched together and a few that I've watched by myself. Things that I've enjoyed by myself this year, my guilty pleasure is The Real Housewives. I love them. I used to watch all of them, but now I don't have time for all of them anymore. My 3 favourites are New Jersey, which is the first ones I ever watched, Beverly Hills, and Orange County, which is the original ones, the original one, the first series that came out. I just love the fashion and the drama and the hairdos and the handbags, and just all of it really is my guilty pleasure. I absolutely love it. And I've recently this year I started watching the Melbourne one, but I don't like that as much. I think there's one in Auckland now, so I might give that one a go. But yeah, Real Housewives is my real guilty pleasure. And another one that I absolutely love, that is about the only thing that I missed from having Sky. We got rid of Sky TV about just after we moved to this house, so coming up 5 years ago, I would say. And I used to watch Grey's Anatomy on Sky, so I now have to wait till it comes out on Amazon box sets or whatever. But I'm just working my way through season 14 now, just nearly at the end of it, and just love Grey's. So soapy and fun, and the characters are like old friends, aren't they, when it comes on every year. Really, really enjoy that. And the other thing that I really enjoyed this year was a recommendation from my mum, which I remember talking about early in the year, was A Place to Call Home, which is an Australian series set in the sort of 50s, 60s. I think there's about 4 seasons of that. In fact, I don't know if the last season has come out, but it's finished now. There was either 5 or 6 seasons altogether. I watched about 4, I think, and I haven't moved on to... I had a DVD box set of the seasons 1 to 4, but I haven't watched any more of it yet. But that's worth watching. If you like a gentle, sort of old-fashioned-y family saga, I think you'd call that. It was really nice to watch. Very refreshing and different from anything that's on TV these days, or a lot of the stuff we watch. yeah, worth looking into. I should say, series I've watched with Ashley this year, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just to talk about. I'm going to do them quite quickly because I have been waffling on for quite a while here. How to Get Away with Murder. We watched the first 3 seasons this year. Really enjoyed that, really cleverly written. That was, of course, devised by Shonda Rhimes, who also wrote Greys, or devised Greys originally. But yeah, we've both really enjoyed How to Get Away with Murder, although you do have to suspend disbelief at a lot of points in it. Most of it, to be honest, but well written, quick, yeah, entertaining. But really enjoyed that. The 4th season has just come available on either Netflix or Prime. I can't remember which. I think it's Netflix, so we'll probably watch that soon. And we've also both really enjoyed Ozark. We've just watched the 2nd season of that fairly recently. Definitely looking forward to season 3 of that. That's a series set in the Ozarks in America. No shit, Caroline. About a guy who gets on the wrong side of the mob and ends up in a position where he's got to launder $100 million or something crazy for them, and all the people he meets and the escapades he and his family go through. And it's, again, really well written, very watchable, some great characters in that. Couple of BBC series that we've enjoyed this year. The Bodyguard, I won't talk too much about that. Everybody watched it. Political sort of thriller, 6 parts or 8 parts I think it was. Again, very well written, very enjoyable. I think it's still available on iPlayer. And the other BBC one we enjoyed almost immediately after we watched The Bodyguard was Informer, which was absolutely brilliant. I think that was one of our favourite things this year. Again, a 6-part thing. It was sort of centred around, let me think now, an undercover police officer in the anti-terrorist squad and a guy that he recruits to be an informer, and the fallout of, it was very of our time, you know, as terrorism in the 21st century, and just well written, great characters, really, really good, pacey, well thought out drama. I think that's also still on iPlayer, so again, worth a watch. Informer, that one's called. Another Netflix series we enjoyed this year was Manhunt, Unabomber, which was a dramatised version of the true story of the Unabomber, letter bomb person, man, letter bomber, yes, letter bomber, I think. That was one of the series that we really binge watch. We watched 2 or 3 episodes in a night, which isn't like us. We usually do just 1 episode of things, but that's still on Netflix, well worth a watch. And that's it. I've written Ozark down again, so I've written Ozark twice. But yeah, that is our favourite TV and my favourite films of the year. Let me know in the comments what's been your favourite things you've watched this year. Any film recommendations, any TV recommendations. Next I want to watch The Marvellous Mrs. Maisel, which I think the 2nd series has just come out and I keep seeing it trailed. And also one of my subscribers recommended it to me a while ago, so that's on my list next. That looks really fun. Yeah, recommendations in the comments. Let me know what the best things are that I should be watching. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.